Dit is de tweede uitzending van Valkenswaard, bezet en bevrijd. En het is heel goed te weten dat heel veel mensen gekeken hebben naar de eerste aflevering en dat deze aflevering heel positief ontvangen werd. In deze tweede uitzending gaan we weer de straat op om te vragen aan Valkenswaardenaren wat zij weten over bepaalde begrippen in de Tweede Wereldoorlog. Verder komen een aantal wist je datjes over de Tweede Wereldoorlog voorbij en hoofdmoot van het programma is een interview dat ik had met Mister Seaton. Mister Seaton uit Oost-Londen, Engeland, die was hier om zijn opa te herdenken, die omkwam tijdens de Tweede Wereldoorlog en begraven ligt op het oorlogskerkhof. Market Garden was een heel bekende militaire operatie tijdens de Tweede Wereldoorlog. Wat kunt u mij daarover vertellen?
Dat is de Market Garden, even nadenken, dat is de bevrijding vanuit Bayeux. Dus langs Lommel, Valkenswaard, Zon, Arnhem, Nijmegen.
Ja, dat was... Mama, daar gaan jullie toch ieder jaar naartoe? Naar die herdenking?
Nee, wij gaan naar Bastogne.
Op Bastogne?
Wij gaan naar Bastogne, dat is in december.
Oh,
Dat is
maar Market Garden was toch via hier, hè? Dat was toch via Valkenswaard?
Dat is Arnhem? Is het
Nee.
Arnhem?
Nee, daar eindigde daar, of waar?
Nee.
Nee? Het was niet de slag om Arnhem. Oh, dan
Nee.
was het hier Market Garden, mama. Hier was Market Garden. Dat oprukken van de geallieerde troepen richting deze kant, hè? Ja. Ja.
Nou, daar heb ik dus gisteren nog over gehad met mijn stiefvader, die hier vandaan komt. Die vertelde dat Operation Market Garden over die brug is gegaan.
Ja, en
Ja.
die brug die heet?
De Victoriebrug.
De Victoriebrug.
Ja.
Ja, precies.
Er was toch zo'n grote militaire operatie ergens.
Ja.
Ja, dat. Maar ik weet
u,
niet meer goed
dat,
wanneer.
Ik heb echt er nog nooit van gehoord. Ik vind het heel erg.
Komt u uit Valkenswaard?
Nee,
Kijk, nou, dat verklaart misschien waarom u er nog niet van weet.
gelukkig.
Ja?
Ja.
Oh, is dat niet die grote route bevrijding?
Ja.
Was dat niet door heel Brabant, vanuit België?
Ja, dat ze binnenkwamen van de troepen eigenlijk. Hè. Ja, dat was van het Market Garden, ja. Er zijn ook films van gemaakt, hè. Ja, en interviews van alles. Ja, zeker. Ja.
Dankjewel.
Kijk, geweldig.
Operation Market Garden. Market Garden is de militaire codenaam voor het offensief dat startte in 1944, in september 1944, vanuit Frankrijk naar België, naar Nederland. Op 17 september werd Valkenswaard bevrijd. Market, dat stond voor de luchttroepen en Garden stond voor de grondtroepen. Vanuit Valkenswaard werd Eindhoven de volgende dag bevrijd en verder richting Arnhem. Today I have the privilege to talk to one of the descendants, one of the grandsons of Mr. Joseph Seaton. And Joseph Seaton fought and fell for our freedom during the Second World War in Operation Market Garden. Mr. Seaton, pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you here. To begin with, could you introduce yourself to us?
Of course. My name's Spencer Seaton, and My grandfather, Joseph Seaton, is buried here at Valkenswaard War Cemetery. And we're over here this weekend for the memorial service and today's Liberation Day.
Yeah, you've just returned from the memorial service, and how did you experience it?
I must admit, I found it quite emotional. It's a great honour, but very proud, but very charged, emotional situation to be there, and quite obviously an honour to be part of it.
Yeah, you delivered a speech, didn't you?
Yes.
What's the core message of your speech?
I think the core message was the fact of how grateful we are, how grateful I am, and I know my family, for what the people of Valkenswaard and indeed the people of the Netherlands are doing to preserve the memory of what happened here in 1944, and take such great care of these graves, of my grandfather's grave and of all the other fallen soldiers.
What do you think of us still commemorating, still thinking of, still celebrating our liberation after so many years?
I think there's nothing wrong, I don't think, whatsoever, and I think it's a great thing that it should be. It shouldn't be forgotten. It's not it's a celebration of a liberation. It's not necessarily a celebration, I don't think, necessarily of a victory. It's something that happened, and lots of people gave up their lives, including your people, and as from what I've read and understood, many civilians as well. It wasn't just military personnel.
No.
So I think it is important that it's remembered.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with that.
Now you're here with your son.
I'm here with I've two sons, George and Alfred, and George is here with me this weekend.
Yeah.
He's enjoying the weekend, and obviously stating the obvious, in years to come, when perhaps I'm not around any longer, or my brother, my sons and my nephews will continue to come here and pay their respects, and carry on that relationship with the people of Valkenswaard.
Yeah, would be a good thing. Yeah. Were you here always on your own, or you also had a father?
Yes. My father was, I think, around about 5 years old in 1944 when his father was killed here. And I think probably from as early as the late 1960s, very early 1970s, I started coming here with my father and with my mother.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember going into the town, into Valkenswaard, and I've been coming here. Sadly, my father now passed away a few years ago, so he can't be here, but we continue to come.
Can you tell me in what way did World War II affect your father's life?
That's a good question. I must admit, I think probably, I think with him, with my dad, it did have a pretty hard effect, simply because he never really spoke much about it in a way, that the fact that he had lost his father at such a young age. But so as I say, he would have been 5. His brother, I think, was about 3 years old. That family were from London, East London, and as I say, I think that he was definitely a little maybe scarred by it, that he had lost his father at such a young age, and never spoke about it too much. But I know he was immensely proud of what had happened, but there wasn't much talk of it.
Yeah. Do you happen to have a photograph or anything?
I do.
Your grandfather?
Yes, I brought this with me. This is an original photograph of Joseph Seaton,
Original photograph.
That's the original
I'll
photograph.
show it to the camera maybe. This is Mr. Joseph Seaton, and when I'm holding it like this, I can see something here.
Yeah, that's on the back there. He's written on it to Mum, Joe. So he sent this to his mother. This is March 1941, and this was, I think, when his regiment were getting ready for the Normandy landings to come over. So this was taken 3 years approximately before his death.
Okay, so he was in the Normandy landings.
Yes, well, he not the. I think his particular regiment came over maybe about 2 weeks after the original D-Day landings.
Okay,
he was with the 53rd Welsh Division, and I think they landed not 100% sure, but maybe a couple of weeks after the initial D-Day landings.
Yeah,
and then they fought their way down through France, I believe, Belgium, and then up into the Netherlands.
Okay. Could you tell us something about the tragic day when he fell, when he died?
Yes, it was the 22nd of September that he died, which I think I've figured out was actually a Friday. And from the war diaries and some publications, I've got a pretty good idea that it happened not too far from here. I think it was close to a village or a town called Nettersel. And I think there was a road between Casteran and Nettersel.
Kasteren and Nettersel, yes.
That's-
Your pronunciation is quite well. Yeah, okay.
Good. So I think that he was fatally wounded on that day in that area.
Right.
And there's a strong possibility that it involved a crossing of a river
Okay,
that had been blocked by some fallen trees.
okay.
Trees had been felled to make an obstruction, and they came under attack whilst they were trying to clear that obstruction with a view to getting up into the town of Nettersel.
Okay.
As I say, pretty good. I can't be 100% sure at the moment,
no,
but I think from the reading that I've done that that's how and where it happened.
However it happened. When did your grandmother hear about his death?
I've got to be honest with you, I'm not sure how long after she was informed that her husband had been killed. I think it was relatively soon, but unfortunately she didn't speak too much about it.
No. Was he immediately buried here at the war cemetery?
No, my understanding is I think that initially he was buried in a Catholic church at a town, excuse my pronunciation, but Bergijk.
Yeah, Bergijk.
Bergijk.
Yeah, right.
I think he was buried there initially.
Okay.
How long after the 22nd that happened, again, I'm not sure, but I think that's what happened initially. And then he was brought at a later date to Valkenswaard here.
Yeah. Mr. Seaton, if you could tell one or two things to our young people today, what would you say concerning the life of your grandfather, the life of your father, and the things they experienced?
Well, I would say for them to keep it in their minds. Hopefully it will be a nice thing for them, like I've already seen happening. They will form friendships and relationships with younger British people that still come here.
Yeah.
So I think it's, obviously we have to forgive and to forget in some sort of ways.
Yeah.
But it was a terrible thing that happened. But it's a nice thing to remember. We have to move on. But to keep these friendships that my father and that I've experienced, over the last good few years, I think it's something that's be a fantastic thing to continue with.
Okay. Mr. Seaton, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tot zover het indrukwekkende verhaal van Mister Seaton. Nou, de volgende uitzending kunt u bekijken vanaf maandag 27 november.